Welcome back to First Take. Back to the NBA. Tyler Hero taking some heat today for this sequence at the end of Miami's loss to the Bulls last night. So there's 5 seconds to go, or down 5, 43 seconds to go. Hero gets the steal, had a wide open path to the basket, and he decides to pull up and he bricks this three. So when he was asked about this decision, Hero said, quote, "I was feeling that shot. Looking back at it now, obviously missing the shot. I should have laid that ball up." So we know shooters shoot. Monica, you were a knockdown shooter.
Courtney,
and
I don't have an issue with this. And everybody's going to be like, oh, you should take the layup, make the shot. If he hits the shot, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, we're not talking about it today.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The dude is a 38% three-point shooter on his career. Coming into that ball game, he'd been shooting like 46 over his last 10. Now, granted, in this particular ball game, he was kind of sneaking up the joint and maybe should have read the room, but he's a shooter. I always think of Patrick Ewing's viral rant. Do you work on that shot? The answer to this one is yes. Tyler Hero is a shooter. If he hit the shot, we're not talking about it. I personally took the shot a ton in college because that's what we did.
I think, do we have video of that? Do we have video of Monica shooting in college? There she is.
My little peanut head.
I was really hoping that we had, see, shooters shoot,
honestly,
splash.
no, seriously, in transition, I'd have no issue with this. And now if this was a game 7, everything on the line, David, maybe I have a little bit of an issue with it. But this is what he does. He just happened to miss the shot. And even if he made the shot, you still were down 2.
Give me the McNutt highlights. I want to see Monica McNutt shoot threes more than I want to see the Hawks, Heat, Bulls Invitational, which is the Eastern Conference Playing Tournament. I want to see McNutt shoot some more shots. No, I'm with you. I think it is a bad shot. It is a shot that, you would want him to make the layup. But this is the Tyler Hero experience. This is what he does. He shoots these threes. Maybe they're ill-timed, and sometimes they go in. He had just made a corner three. Yes, he was 2 for 7 for the night, but this is what he does. That was a great steal. Given another chance, he may be shooting the layup. But this is what you get with Tyler Hero. Sometimes he makes them. Sometimes he misses them. You want to scratch your head. You want to bang your head on the wall. But that's just what he's going to do.
A for entertainment, F for situational awareness. The Heat love Tyler Hero. This mentality is what helped turn him into an all-star from the back end lottery pick or wherever he was taken. I think he was like 12th, 13th pick. That's who he is. But Eric Spoelstra admitted after the game, I got to coach him better because with 43 seconds left, you cut the lead down to 1 possession, you get a defensive stop, and then you have a timeout and you can set it up. This is not controversial. You go for the layup. Tyler knows he should have gone for the layup.
Maybe we're not overreacting to this just because these two teams are in the play-in right now.
Well, it was an important game, by the way. That loss is probably going to mean that the Bulls are going to host the Heat for not probably. It made it more likely.
How about that?
The Bulls are 3-0 against the Heat also this season. That's a big deal too. He'd have some trouble playing against his Bulls team.
They've had trouble with a lot of teams this season. Continue.
That's for sure. Let's talk about teams that are actually firmly in the playoff picture. We'll get back out to the West where the Nuggets got their first win in the post-Mike Malone era, beating the Kings 124-116. Jokic had a 20-point triple-double. Stop me if you've heard me say that before. 3 other starters also had at least 20 points in the scoring column. After the game, Jokic spoke about the firing of his title-winning coach.
I'm not going to say what Josh told me. So, I mean, I knew a little bit before everybody, and he told me, we made a decision. So it was not discussion. It was decision, and, he told me why. And so I listened and I accepted. I'm not going to tell what he told me. I'm going to keep that private.
Okay, so he says the decision was made without him. But he's Jokic. He's 3-time MVP, and he's a champion. David, are you buying that Jokic had no say at all in Malone's firing?
No, not at all. I mean, there's just no way that you make this decision without Nikola Jokic being at least part of it or signing off on it. I know that, you look at somebody like LeBron or the KDs of the world or people who are more outspoken and the way that they carry themselves, and you automatically assume that they have a lot of say in that front office. Jokic kind of carries himself differently. He has this nonchalance to him, and everybody believes that he just cares about his horses and doesn't really care about the game. But this dude is somebody who deeply cares about winning and deeply cares about this Nuggets franchise. There is absolutely no way that you get rid of this coach if Jokic says, do not get rid of this coach. I just don't buy it. I just feel like this is something that is deeper going on with him and that organization that made them make that decision with Malone. But this is not something that you do without Jokic at least having some sort of part in the conversation.
Oh, me? So help me, David. Help me define what you're saying. If he says nothing, is that him having a part in the conversation?
I just feel like it's hard for me to believe that the Denver Nuggets go up to Nikola Jokic and say, "Hey, Mike Malone is gone. Just letting you know. Go ahead and have a good practice today." I just have a tough time believing that is what's happening. He had to, there's got to be a door open for them to say, this is what we're thinking, this is what we want to do, this is what we're probably going to do. You can yay or nay it. If you nay it, then, you can have veto power over this decision at the very least. It's just hard for me to believe that this is something that you do without Jokic having any knowledge of it beforehand.
Felt like there was some reading between the lines there.
I'm gonna defer to Wendy on this because I kind of take Jokic for what he said. Like I think he would have had to raise a fit, which, as far as we could tell, has been uncharacteristic of who he is in order to stop this. And I think Kroenke is evaluating his program, reading the room, understands the pulse, and is willing to take all the blows for this one because it was his call.
Yeah, so these are not like scripted TV shows. You don't have like this big meeting and, you say this is what we're going to do, or the player like plots it out. And, if the player's upset about it, he takes stuff off the wall and throws it and smashes glass and trophies. Josh Kroenke knows how Nikola Jokic feels about the team because he talks with him and he's around him and he's aware of the pulse of the team over the course of months, years. The Nuggets, ownership was considering making a move with head coach for a long time because Michael Malone, well, first off, no coach goes 10 years without considering being fired. Like, that's the NBA. He's the fourth longest coach. Like, he probably was in danger zone times, and I think he also got like 3 extensions to his contract. So there were times where they were in love with each other, and times where they were probably in danger of firing him earlier. And so how Jokic feels. You don't have to have one giant conversation where Jokic goes thumbs up or thumbs down. But there is a reason why they went to him first, because for this exact reason is that if he has an opportunity, if he doesn't agree with it, he can say it. He would have the ability to veto that, I'm sure. But that's where there's nuance coming in, because I know that in this situation, people make assumptions. They make assumptions that the star player has total control. I think Jokic could have influence, but that doesn't mean he has control. And so I suspect I think he said it was a phone call. When that phone call came, I don't think it surprised him. I think he knew that this type of day was coming. And I think when Josh Kroenke made the call, I don't think he got a surprising answer. I think he knew how Jokic was going to feel. So it's not as simple as people want to make it out to be. The star player had his fingerprints on it or not. The star player has fingerprints on everything the organization does, from when they travel to what they eat to who they draft to who that coaches them. It doesn't mean that they're controlling everything.
Yeah, apparently this was the best kept secret in the NBA, that there was all this infighting going on between Michael Malone and the GM Calvin Booth, but only now it just comes out. Michael Malone, the only coach that Nikola Jokic has played for.
By the way, Courtney, it was not a secret. For decades.
Well, it certainly seemed like it with the shock of that.
Well,
thing
then I'm about to shock the entire world here.
Season.
There are 30 teams where the general manager and the head coach go like this over players, rotation style, and like that. Do they do it every single day? No. But I promise you, in 1948, when the NBA was in its second year, there was I don't know if they had general managers and coaches.